Welcome to our channel Through Light. In our previous video, we have learnt interview questions on React. Now in this video, let's learn some more interview questions. How to prevent re-renders in React? The main reason for re-rendering of a component and its child components occur when props or state of the component has been changed. Re-rendering components that are not updated affects the performance of the application. If you see the example here I have created a parent component and as well as child component. And also inside the parent component I have created a state. So whenever a parent component is changed, then the child will also get re-rendered. So to prevent the re-rendering of the child component, we use the should component update method. We should use this should component update method only when you are sure that it's a static component. So inside the child component, I have created the should component update method and I am returning false from here, which prevents the child component from re-rendering. Explain React state and props. React state. Every component in React has a built-in state object, which contains all the property values that belong to that component. The state object controls the behavior of the component. Any change in the property values of the state object leads to re-rendering of the component. State object is not available in functional components, but we can use React hooks to add the state of a functional component. If you see the example here, this is how we declare the state of an object. This dot state, and internally it's an object of declaring multiple properties. We can use the state by calling the this dot state. If you see here, I have created a property name. So by using this dot state dot property name, we can use this state in the component. We can change the state object property by using a set state method. So by using the set state, we can change the property. React props. Every component accepts a single object argument called props, which is nothing but properties. These props can be passed to a component using HTML attributes and the component accepts these props as an argument. Using props, we can pass data from one component to other component. While rendering a component, we can pass the props as an HTML attribute. If you see here, I have created the component and passing the props over here. We can use this property in other component by using this dot props dot name of the property. In functional components, this props directly we can use as a parameter to it. These props are read-only. They cannot be manipulated or changed inside the component. Explain React hooks. Hooks are functions that let us hook into React state and lifecycle features from a functional component. React hooks cannot be used in class components. They let us write components without classes. React hooks were introduced in the 16.8 version of React. Previously, functional components were called stateless components. Only class components were used for state management and lifecycle methods. The need to change a functional component to a class component whenever state management or lifecycle methods were to be used led to the development of hooks. For example, here I am showing a useState hook. This useState hook is used to update the state of a field. We are declaring a state variable called name and setName is a function to update the value of the name. What is prop drilling in React? Sometimes while developing React applications, there is a need to pass data from a component that is higher in the hierarchy to a component that is deeply nested. To pass data between such components, we pass props from a source component and keep passing the prop to the next component in the hierarchy till we reach the deeply nested component. The disadvantage of using prompt drilling is that the components that should otherwise be not aware of the data have access to the data. The disadvantage of using prompt drilling is that the components that should otherwise be not aware of the data have access to the data. Name a few techniques to optimize React application performance. There are many ways through which one can optimize the performance of the React app. Let's have a look at some of them. Using useMemo. It is a React hook that is used for caching CPU expensive functions. Sometimes in React app, a CPU expensive function gets called repeatedly due to re-render of the component, which can lead to slow rendering. UseMemo hook can be used to cache such functions. By using useMemo, the CPU expensive functions get called only when it is needed. Next one, using React.PureComponent. It is the base component class that checks state and prop of a component to know whether the component should be updated. Instead of using the simple React.component, we can use React.PureComponent to reduce the re-renders of a component unnecessarily. Next one, maintaining state collocation. This is a process of moving the state as close to where you need it as possible. Sometimes in React application, we have a lot of unnecessary states inside the parent component, which make the code less readable and harder to maintain. Not to forget, having many states inside a single component leads to unnecessary re-renders of a component. It is better to shift states which are less valuable to the parent component to a separate component. Next one, lazy loading. It is a technique used to reduce the load time of the React application. Lazy loading helps reduce the risk of web app performance to minimal. What are keys in React? A key is a special string attribute that needs to be included when using list of elements. Keys helps React identify which elements were added, changed or removed. Keys should be given to array elements for providing a unique identity for each element. Without keys, React does not understand the order of uniqueness of each element. With the keys, React has an idea of which particular element was deleted, edited, or added. Keys are generally used for displaying a list of data coming from an API. Keys used within arrays should be unique among siblings. They need not to be globally unique. Thanks for watching. Stay tuned to our channel for latest videos and don't forget to subscribe our channel through Light.